reality, we know that the impact of women's unpaid work is similar in exposing all women to a greater risk of poverty and undermining their financial security and independence. However, what we don't know is the experience of motherhood and the responsibility for caring and domestic work, how that differs among women of different ethnicities. Because in Europe, we talk a lot about work-life balance. We talk a lot about unpaid work, and we need to look at this. But what we don't talk about is the different experience across ethnicities. Now, I will contend that individual identity, such as gender, age, class, sexual orientation, and disability, each have a profound and distinct impact on women's experience. Yet, thinking among policymakers, academics, the media, and among lobbyists and campaigners too often overlook this diversity and falls into the trap of considering only the broader categories of women. And usually when we're talking about women, it's usually the white women's experience because that's the data we have. And when we talk about black people or minorities, it's usually the black male's experience because that's the information that we have. So both fail to comprehend fully the experience of black women. Effective policy making requires both evidence to make an issue visible and the political will to act upon the issue. It is hoped that this conference will help at both levels, and I really want to thank Beatrice for making the experience, starting that journey, for making the experience of black women visible in the EU today, and point out the gaps in policy that need to be filled if black women are to achieve equality. I was going on to wanted to talk about the possible opportunities, because the state minister said, you know, I have economics and employment under my remit and it's important, and she's right. It is important, because whenever you travel around EU circles in Brussels, they talk about the Lisbon strategy. I know you know it. Anyone here knows what the Lisbon strategy is? Mm-hmm. It is a strategy, the EU has a strategy. It wants to be one of the most prosperous economies in the world.
And the most educated.
Yes, and the most educated. Now, it has an Asian population. So it has a problem because its working population is shrinking. So they're turning the spotlight to women, to older people, and to minorities. And so they're bringing in a number of policy instruments because they're trying to help us overcome the barriers so that we can reach our full potential, because they realize that's the way they are going to reach their goal of being the most prosperous economy with the most educated citizens. So there is an opportunity. My concern is that we have been excluded for so long. We talk about, yes, it's so difficult to access your right. We've been excluded for so long, we may miss the opportunity because we're so used to being excluded, and the policy makers have very little experience of reaching out to us. So I'm very much hoping that this conference will start the journey, and I think we should give Beatrice a big round of applause. Thank you very much.